Poor little dude gave up for me. So that's what we're using for this function. Where do I want to start off? What's my first guess? 1.5, right? We got it a couple different ways. So if I put in here 1.5, enter. This step always seems a little weird. Now ANS has that in it. And from the very beginning, I can put in, okay, answer minus f of answer. So 2 divided by answer minus answer squared plus 1. That's f of answer. That's the top. Divided by f prime evaluated the answer. Negative 2 divided by answer squared minus 2 times answer. So I'm just putting answer in place of my xn's. So there's my guess. What did I just do? Shoot. There we go. Minus f evaluated at that guess divided by f prime evaluated at that guess. And then I just have to hit enter, enter. I get pretty close to it. I mean, we got, in terms of a sketch, now that I got the parabola going the right way, this is really pretty good. I feel really good about that 1.5. And it turns out that guess was really freaking close, because already the first 3 decimal places aren't changing, right? If I do it again, now the whole thing isn't changing. I like it. So if you write that number down, let's double check. Let's make the calculator do this all by itself. With a little bit of input from us. What do I mean? Let's remember how this sucker uses this algorithm inside of its own little magical box. If I put this function in here, put the original function, 2 over x minus x squared plus 1. Let's all hit zoom 6 if you're playing along. So that's what that sucker looks like. Now, why doesn't that look like our graph? Because ours, we tore it apart and looked at parts of it. This is the entire f of x. And you can see, it looks like it's right in between 1 and 2. Why aren't you guys going away? That's so funky. Oh well. So how do I do this with the calculator? How do I make the calculator do this algorithm? I go to second trace, to go to calc. I want to get a 0 of the function. And now, do you see why it asks you for boundaries? Because that eliminates that problem. If I get a slope that's way too big and it takes it way out, if it comes out of the boundaries, it doesn't use that. Does that make sense? No. So that's why it has to ask for a left bound. So go in the answer, go left a little bit, enter. Go in the answer, go right a little bit, enter. Give it some walls to live in. And then I go right on top of the answer, and I get 1.5213797. It shows even less places on this screen, but oh well. You guys semi with me, you guys? So I mean, you could always, and I love the student that it's like, well, we already did it. What are we doing all this shit for? Well, because we created the damn calculator, we should probably at this level know what math goes into this doing this. So that's the purpose of all this. I like it. I like it. So let me give you this. I've got a little handout that has 2 examples on it, and then I'm going to put a problem up here and ask you guys to do it yourself. The first example is a little bit boring. It's related to that x cubed minus 2 one we did earlier. But I want you to notice something. Do you see where it starts off saying, find where x squared equals 2? So what's the very first thing I have to do? This algorithm works by finding where some f of x equals 0. That's how this function, this algorithm works. So if they say, find where x squared equals 2, f of x is not this because it's not equal to 0. So you just make the stupid thing equal to 0. So this is the f of x that's being used in that first problem, right? I like it. So what I do on the second problem is a little more interesting. Now, of course, since this is an explanatory sheet, I didn't want to put my beautiful graph on there. I made a little computer do that for me, but you guys are going to have to do that by hand, So you can graph natural log. You got to know what the hell natural log looks like. You obviously know what sine looks like. And if you do like we did here, you should get a decent guess to start with. And most of the functions I'm going to give you are going to be well behaved, right? So you guys have keyed in on the word most, which is the correct thing to do. Okay, maybe. So hopefully, I'm hoping this, now that we've discussed the idea, we've done a couple problems, this sheet should kind of help you as a template to follow. So let me give you a problem to try. I think you're my best marker. Is it you or the other one? Let's do. Yeah. Let's do. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's do that one. To the x equals 2 minus x squared. So just to get you guys started on this, before you figure out what f of x is, give a rough sketch of this, give a rough sketch of this, and see where they meet. That's going to be your first guess. Now if everybody's working individually, we might have this many different first guesses, right? Which is fine. The process should be able to handle any first guess as long as it's not too far off. What I don't want to see is anybody reaching for the calculator too early. So get the first guess, and then you need to move things over to figure out what f of x is.